Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Joni Ogg, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to thank all of you for being here and welcome you today. Our hosts are two lovely ladies and good friends from Nexion Travel Group, and we're really happy to have them come and talk to us today. And with us are Carlin Okamura and Wendy Graziano. And let me just share a little bit about each of these ladies with you, if you would let me. So first off, Carla Nakamura is a sales manager with Nexion Travel Group, and she's responsible for increasing Nexion's membership with new, experienced leisure and corporate travel professionals. He has more than 30 years of travel industry experience in sales, customer service, and training support, and she's played a strategic role in growing Nexion Travel Group's membership from 650 when she started in 2005 to more than 4,000 today. Carlin works and resides in Oahu, Hawaii. Lucky Carlin. And then we have with us Wendy Graziano, who's a sales manager as well with Nexion Travel Group. And she's been in the travel industry for 30 plus years, including selling leisure travel in a storefront agency and as a travel manager in the corporate world. She's responsible for recruiting top quality travel professionals who have a true passion to grow their business and represents Nexion's Travel Group at travel trade shows and conferences to promote the host agency to new, experienced corporate and leisure agents and agencies. And Wendy works and resides in Sacramento, California. And today's topic is designing your travel business for the new decade, 7 surefire steps for growth. Today, one of you on the line will win a 1-hour complimentary coaching based upon your unique business model and your needs. So be sure to really listen carefully to the presentation. The answer will be within the presentation and you'll have a chance to win at the end. Please remember that today you're all muted, but we welcome your questions and you can type in your questions anytime in the question area that you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. And when the presentation is over, we're going to take as many questions as we can. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to the ladies with Nexion. Welcome, Carlin and Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you to Joni and Andy. We just love working with all of you. And thank you to everyone as well who's joining us today for our call. I am Carlin Okamura, the sales manager here at Nexion Travel Group. And I'm here with Wendy Graziano, and we'll be sharing with you a proven 7-step formula to grow your business, and perfect for ensuring that you're ready to align your passion and purpose for your new agency in this new decade. So let me ask you a question. Are all of you happy with your level of success in your business today? Do you want a little more success in your business? So today we're going to look at the 7 steps to move your business from where you are to where you want to be, and at a high level. And these steps include discover, define, align, brand, market, monetize, and optimize. And we'll be going through all of this. And when you think about it, a lot of us make the mistake of going down the path of branding first when you're establishing your business or reinventing yourself. And really, branding does not come into play until step 4. And so we're going to cover this for you today. So I hope that all of you and everyone's ready to become a travel marketing ninja, and be sure to stay with us to the end, as Joni mentioned, and we'll be sharing about some job aids as well as answering any questions that you have. All righty, so we will be going through this pyramid today on our call, and we're going to spend some time at the bottom of the pyramid. Because without a solid foundation, what happens when you build a house? Well, without that solid foundation, your house can fall. And so if you notice where marketing comes in, it's not come into step number 5. And this is because we really need to be sure that we've got steps 1 to 4 in the bag before we get into step 5 or marketing. So you'll find and learn quickly that spending time on marketing, it's really a waste of time unless you first have your alignment with your first 4 steps, and only then will your marketing work. So let's also take a look at the columns from left to right. On the far left, you'll see a self-development area for each of the 7 steps. And this is really the inner works of what you need to do personally or your self-reflection. In the middle is your business strategy and focus. or the outer work. And this is the work that you need to do in your business for each of the 7 steps. And finally, on the right is the outcome or the rewards of your efforts, also known as the fruits of your labor. So for each step we'll go through today, you'll notice how the first 2 columns will help to align your purpose and your outcome, and will definitely lead to growth in your business. And that's really cool, or what is cool, I should say, about this whole formula is that it will work whether you've been in the business for 6 months or 6 years or even 26 years. It's all about, reflection, replication, and going through the process. Alrighty, so our next screen here, what we're going to walk you through today is really a methodology and an approach from Michelle Villalobos. And she has built an empire of entrepreneurs across every spectrum of the business. And she created the system from her 20 years of success and failures in the business. So she's basically taken her key learnings and made the decision to help others in the world who want to be successful, and to learn from her success and mistakes and help to accelerate their success with this proven approach. And after climbing the corporate ladder for 14 years, Michelle did decide to start her own business about 8 years ago. And she has since helped over 2,000 independent entrepreneurs across the country to jumpstart their success, look at their business model, refine it, and help with their growth and profit. So this is the formula and the business model that's taken her over 10 years to develop. And what took so long was just the order of the steps, not the action themselves. So if you follow the steps in this order as we go up through the pyramid, it will definitely lead to impact and transformation. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And we will start with Wendy jumping right into step number 1.
Thanks, Carlin. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Step number 1, why be a ninja? So it's all about what's inside. It's about self-development and awareness and understanding who we are and what our strengths are. So what are some of the outcomes that I would like to see in my life? For instance, this one might have freedom. We want to have the freedom to spend time with friends and family. And this happens to be our president, Jackie Friedman. Myself is in the middle. We were in Vancouver, and one day we decided to have a little bit of fun, and then Carlin's on the right. But we decided that freedom was definitely well worth it because we desired to have fun with our friends and our coworkers. So we enjoyed a little petty together. So also, ninjas want to have fun too. So identifying what I like to do, no matter what you do in your business on a daily basis, having fun is very, very important outcome also. Ninjas have fulfillment. So a special thing about Nexion Travel Group is that we're a part of the Travel Leaders Group and part of an amazing family and team. I get fulfilled by connecting with our rockstar teams as part of that business as I work with. That's why I've been doing this now for 15 years with Nexion Travel Group. It's because all the rewards and the fulfillment and the love that we have for our Nexion Travel Group family, it's bringing on the new members and watching them grow. That's what brings me fulfillment. And what brings you fulfillment? So the first stage, Carlin's going to go into this one.
Great. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, so basically step 1 to identify, it's the first stage of self-awareness or the outer work and discovering our identity. It's really about discovering who you really are and not about who people told you to be. And it's all about your natural gifts, your abilities, your talents. And there's a few pieces that are wrapped up into this journey of self-discovery. And you want to spend time to focus on your true nature, your identity. This is critical as this is part of the pyramid, the foundation of that pyramid in your business. And everything else that we're going to talk about will build upon this. And so again, going back to that house, if you have a house that's not built on a strong foundation, then what happens, So you definitely have to have integrity, and keep yourself from being out of alignment by starting with your identity and self-awareness. So on the pyramid here, and what does it take to do this inner work or this self-identity? And so do you think that you have a clear picture of who you are, Ask yourself, what are my gifts? What are my strengths? What do I struggle with? And so as they say, self-knowledge will set you free. And ultimately, I am who I am. So rather than fight it and try to be someone that I'm not, then, just ask yourself these questions as part of that foundation. And so really, what is the outcome of discovering your true identity? It's the alignment. It brings authenticity, and it brings us more joy. So I think we would all agree that you feel more joy when you're aligned with your true strengths and your passions and your purpose. So this is all, again, where your foundation starts. And there are a lot of fun tests and books out there if you're not sure about, that foundation and the questions about who you are and what your types are. And one we recommend, and we actually use this in our new agent training, is the Clifton Strength Finders. And this is where you'll go through about 100 questions, and it really gives you a nice roadmap on all of your talents that will help you. But in part of this step one foundation, some of the questions you could ask yourself is, what do you lose time doing? What do you look forward to doing the most? What do people always come to you for? What are things that you might not like doing or hate doing? And so really evaluating answers to these fundamental questions will help you in your self-awareness and help you discover your identity in this first step of the foundation. And then now Wendy will take us to step 2.
Thanks, Carlin. Great stuff in our second step to growing your business. We're going to be looking at defining mission and lifestyle. So how do you want to live your life is the question. So defining your mission and lifestyle ultimately boils down to your vision. And once we know who we are, what's very close to the surface is, what do we want? What do we desire? What do we value? The outwork of that desire is the fuel that's going to take you to the action. How many of you wanted something so bad, really, really, really bad, more than anything you've ever wanted before? And the question, did you get it? And why did you get it? Because you had that desire. That desire is very closely linked to who we are. Who we are influences what we desire, and that desire gives us the outcome to have the fuel, which will lead to action. So when we speak about desire, we're usually talking about two things. One is lifestyle. What do we desire in our lifestyle? We desire freedom. So some of the things that we desire freedom is that we want to be able to build that business where we're working. We don't want to be working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Heck to the no. So we have to know what we desire first before we create the business that's going to be aligned with the lifestyle that we want. So what do we do instead? Most of us, we play it safe. We end up working to get that lifestyle, and then we think, I'll work so I can get that lifestyle. Well, one day later, once I start making money, then I'll figure it all out. Then I'll have the lifestyle I want. That, is really the approach. So the problem with that approach is today there's only the guarantee of today. And you're never going to get there because satisfaction is always on the other side of someday or maybe. So don't let your life pass you by without ever expressing your most amazing gifts, without even have ever lived the way that you want to live, without ever doing the work that you wanted to do, without contributing your maximum potential for others. So, and this is kind of interesting because the number one regret of the dying, does anybody know what that might be? If you don't, I'm going to tell you right now, the number one regret of the dying is, I wish I had the courage to live the true life to myself rather than the life that others expected me. So from the book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, hospice nurses catalog this over many years. And that is where this desire comes in. You can desire a lifestyle. You can desire a mission to be fulfilled on this planet. If you want your desire to be fueled, the maximum potential, you need both. You need the lifestyle and the mission and the purpose and the movement. So, and when you're defining your vision, think about long-term goals. Say in 10 years or maybe something other long-term for you, I will be, okay, for instance. And then also you want to come up with one for short-term goals. So in the next year, I will, blah, blah, blah. So these are things that you want to think about. So when you think about your vision, your mission, ask yourself, why are you here? This will help you focus on the outer work in step 2. So here are some examples of some entrepreneurs who know their purpose. And I'm going to go ahead and pause just a minute so you can actually just read this. But I mean, it's very clear what their purpose is. And this is where you want to get to be. You want to know what your purpose is. So let's go ahead and figure this out. So these are questions that definitely will help you. This is one of the job aids that we're going to give you. You will be sent an email with a couple of different job aids to help you in this processing of figuring yourself out. So these are going to be helping you to design and define your mission and your lifestyle. Okay, I help travelers do. Okay, how do you serve them? What do you do for them? And then so that, why do you do this? And what is the greater purpose? And this is something that's going to help you. So as we wrap up step 2, we're going to be bringing you to step 3 so that you do know that this is a formula and a method in this order in the pyramid that has proven to work by entrepreneurs who make 6-figure salaries. So
Great. Thank you, Wendy.
Carlin. Thanks.
Perfect. So, now that we know who we are, that's step 1 of the foundation, figuring out who we are, what our talents are, what do we love to do, and then you get through step 2, defining your mission and vision and purpose. Then we can go into step 3, which is really aligning the model. On your next screen here, we have our pyramid again. And step 3 falls nicely in place because, again, we have gone through the 2 steps of who we are. We've defined our mission. So it's much easier then to start aligning the model. And it's also much easier to create the brand after we have alignment. Now, we used to do it the other way. A lot of us do the brand first and then the model. But what would happen is that we create a brand, and then the brand would have people working 80-hour work weeks because everything wasn't aligned correctly. So our goal from a model perspective is to really have monthly recurring revenue, and it's leverage value. So you're creating something bigger with impact. And you're aligning that relationship with the business model and your lifestyle, and then the money and the impact. And so really, if you can achieve that, then your outcome is to have the freedom and prosperity, and then you will really enjoy doing your job much more. And this is really in this step where you ask yourself, is this model going to allow me to take care of myself and my business? Is it going to allow me to be energy rich? Is it going to allow me to be healthy? So you want to look at the inner works of self-care, but also follow the outer work of aligning that model to reach your energy rich and to have that fruits of labor. So for example, you might be out here saying, well, maybe I should be a frontline travel advisor and specialize in destination weddings and romance because that's where there's a gap in my local market. But then you start doing the work here, and then you find out, well, maybe I'm not a detailed-oriented person. I might be a pie-in-the-sky creator, and perhaps the model of a frontline travel advisor with planning wedding planners is really not making me happy. And you do not want to get to where you're resenting your business and where it's not aligned with your true nature and passion. So this is why it's really important to take the time in these steps before you brand yourself to know who you are and what makes you happy. And so, for example, if you're interested in golf and that's what makes you happy, you might want to look and align yourself with the PGA. Or if you're interested in ecotourism, you may want to partner with a nonprofit company. So ultimately, you're going to look at the business model that works well for you and create that system or process that helps you to generate revenue where you can be more creative and use all of your energy there. Alrighty, and then we'll move up into our step 4, which is branding. And we will have our pyramid here again, so you can see how we're moving up the pyramid. So once we know what the model is going to be, then we can move into the what, or the brand. And now, so where do most people start again when they launch their business? Yes, they come in and they start with their brand first. And hopefully you can see the mistake in doing that, because there's really no alignment. If you only focus for the next year on optimizing for this alignment and you really get the system, your business will transform. If you ask yourself, am I aligned with my vision in every decision and action? Am I aligned with my true self and the gifts and the lifestyle that I want to live? Then everything will start to transform and shift. And this is where you consider your position, your messaging, and your materials. So if you look at the left of the pyramid with your inner work or self-definition, you'll have the positioning, and then you'll have more of a sense of your messaging today. And perhaps all of this cannot be done today as we're doing our webinar, but it'll give you definitely a head start on things. And then in the middle, if you look at your business strategy and focus on your brand, this is where your brand is what people perceive. And you, however, get to influence that message. You can't control the message, but you can definitely influence that message. And then you'll get to the far right, which is the outcome column, which will give you that consistency, the credibility, and help you to create a connection with that market. Now, when you think about your brand, you want to ask yourself, who do I want to be for the world? And what does that sound like, the messaging? Or what does that look like, the feeling of it? You know, what does that feel like? But for most entrepreneurs, they really miss that feeling or emotion part of this exercise. So that's definitely the questions that you want to ask yourself for this. And some of us can get caught up in giving so much information that we forget about the transformation that comes with emotion. So definitely when you think about your brand, make sure that has emotion, and so that it flows through your messaging and your materials that you're going to be creating. So in our next slide, and this is where your sweet spot is. So you're going to take your passions and talents and you're going to look for that marketing opportunity. And this is where all things come together, so you can really leverage everything in your business. And for example, one of our top Nexion Travel Group advisors, she has a wellness background. And so this is what her passion is. She's passionate about wellness travel. So then she's taken this energy and emotion and tapped into this with luxury wellness vacations. So this is where her passion and energy is and where she's building her brand with. Alrighty. And why a ninja brand, that you ask? What is it all about? Well, it's really all about alignment. So here, as you can see on the screen here on your slide, the strategy, the system, and science of positioning yourself as a celebrity in your field, it's not who you know, but it's about who knows you. So you definitely want to think about this when you think about your brand as well. And just some important points that we wanted to share as you're thinking about your brand is you don't have to be good looking to look good. Here, another great example of branding and looking good. Donna Smith Bellinger with she's the creator of the Kick in the Butt sales training program. So this is her brand here. And when you think about your brand, you definitely want to narrow your focus by developing a unique value proposition and by having a niche in the industry. So one of my favorite slides here is, so Christian Louboutin is all about the red shoe soles on your shoes. And you know, you can see the red soles a mile away. And it's all about getting noticed and having people know your brand. Another example would be the iconic Tiffany blue box. So, you know, definitely you can see how people can know you by your brand. And on this next slide, you definitely want to work at aligning your model and developing your brand, as you do not want to be lost in the sea of sameness here. And then let's see, now Wendy will be moving into our steps 5, which is market.
Isn't that great? Thanks, Carlin. So step 5 is to grow your travel business is all about thinking about marketing from publishing to broadcasting to speaking to networking. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So now you're clear about who you are. You've got a vision on the lifestyle you want. You are feeling fueled and motivated, and you have a business model that you know will create monthly reoccurring revenue that you have built your brand. So, and now that you know what you want to do, sit home and wait for the phone to ring? I don't think so. It's not just going to ring by itself. There's so many ways that you need to market yourself. But the first step is going out there and doing it. And it's a big step. You know, you've got to have that energy and you have to have that desire to create that business. You have to put yourself out there over time, and it can be very uncomfortable to some people, but you have to, you know, no one's going to just come knocking on your door out of the blue. So this is where people can get really discouraged and stuck. But you think, I built this great website, but where are my clients? You know, it's going to take time to reach your market, but you want to keep building and use shameless promotion. Be shameless and confident about promoting your business. Be proud. So most people think the problem is we don't have enough customers. And like the gal on the left, we are constantly having to chase customers, as you can see. So marketing is about attracting. Here's an analogy. Think of it like a butterfly and a garden. You can go around like a kid with a butterfly net running around and around and around trying to chase your clients, but that is the old model. And it really does not work. So a new model is building a butterfly garden and attracting the butterflies or the customers, okay, with your beautiful and engaging garden. You have to plant some flowers in your garden to attract butterflies, or in our case, clients. What happens if one flies away? No worries, because you are attracting the right butterflies with the unique chemistry, the colors, the smells, and the flowers of your garden. So even if one gets away, there are many others who are interested in what you have to offer. So the solution is really changing our perception into realizing, okay, we have all the tools and the resources to cultivate our business through the right marketing tactics. So to help you build a robust butterfly garden, Nexion Travel Group has an excellent suite of products, tools, technology, marketing to help you. That's what we're here for. That's all we do. So we're going to take a step back here in your business. What would happen if your business, here are some suggestions for basically attracting people to your garden. So you want to be able to publish something. You want to publish something. You want to publish an article for your local paper, or maybe join a club that you're a part of, or a blog post that you can send to everybody on your email list. Use social media postings and direct mail. Publishing does not need to be only just social media, but social media is the only tool. It's really only a tool to get the word out there about your business, but you can't just do that. You need to do other things as well. You need to broadcast your business. You can put a video on YouTube. You can do a Facebook Live post of maybe on a fam trip or something. You can promote your business with t-shirts or other promotions. We've got a lady at Nexion that literally has a sandals magnet on her minivan. So she's just driving around. That's a big part of her marketing, you know, with her 1-800 numbers. You can speak at a local travel club or offer to do a presentation at a service organization monthly meeting. You can put yourself out there like with a country club or a golf club. Think about that. So you also have to put yourself out there so people know that you do exist. You do need to speak up. Sometimes you need to have that shameless. To be shameless self-promotion. Don't be afraid to be an expert in a certain area. Don't be afraid to represent your brand in a shameless way. Don't apologize for who you are and your brand. If you're confident in what you know most about, people will respect you, and that's an awesome feeling. You need to network. Networking is key. Join a club, organization, volunteer in your community, sponsor a little league team, set up a booth at a farmer's market or maybe a wedding or a bridal trade show or something. Promote a trip that you're passionate about and get others excited to take a trip too. I wanted to kind of give you an example of this, but I had a new agent at Nexion, and she partnered up with a brand new Mexican restaurant in her local area. Well, she thought, you know what, I need to find new customers. How am I going to do that? So she offered, with our co-op marketing funds from suppliers, she offered to give away a free trip to Mexico for two. And so she was able to write a business plan. And so we gave this to the proper supplier, and the supplier approved it. So when people walked in the door at that restaurant, she had everybody fill out a little form. And that little form was their name, their address, their email, and telephone number. So she was able to pass out brochures with her business card, who she was, a little brochure, really impacting these people. And then at the same time, it drew in a lot of people for the restaurant owner. So this in turn equated to a lot of sales. So it was really taking what she had and being creative to get new customers, but also to help promote that supplier. And of course, when you're promoting that supplier, she's earning all this money in commission. So she was really smart about what she did. So you really have to do a brainstorm and get creative to attract clients is really my point, through all types of marketing. And this does take time and a plan, but you can, and Nexion Travel Group can help you with that. We've got a great staff, business development managers that are more than willing to help you attract, help you with promoting your business. And we like having fun, doing it and being able to hunt down those customers. So it's all about how we approach our business and how we perceive our thoughts. Say it's like the law. Be very persistent, be very serious, believe in yourself. Now, here's the formula for success. Once aligned and you have the right marketing plan in place to attract diverse clients wanted, that's where our business has to scale. That's where you'll see your business grow. So if one of these is off, you'll be out of balance. This is why the pyramid is in specific order. So your mission plus your message times your model times your marketing is the equation that you need to think about. So now we're going to pass this on over to Carlin so she can go through the next step.
Thank you, Wendy. All righty. So yes, definitely we've gotten through the discovering, defining, aligning brand and market, and now we are ready for step 6, which is monetize. And here I will have our pyramid here. Alrighty, so with step 6, this is where we start with the inner worth, or the inner work of self-worth. And we can monetize a lot sooner, but this is based on the premise that all previous levels of the formula creates the conditions for monetization or conversion to happen. And really, monetization is the conversion of your magic and your work into money. So when you're not in alignment and you're not in tune with your true talents or your strengths, then we're really losing that authenticity, and our model is not a match for really in terms of how you want to live. And when we don't have that solid branding that drives emotion and action, then we're not putting ourselves out there consistently over time. And then you won't be able to monetize yourself. This step will break down here. And so this is why these steps are in this order very critical. And we at Nexion Travel Group, we have some specialty events. And one of the events that we do actually is a master marketing symposium where we go through building your business and for success. And we actually had a member who had been in the business for over 30 years that attended this special webinar that we did, or the symposium. And so we said, wow, you've been in the business for 30 years and you're attending this series and special event that we had on master marketing, and wondered, what he was looking for. And he said, after being in the business for 30 years, my business started changing. It wasn't as successful. And so he had to go through this process and the 7 steps to find his talents and his strength again, look at a new audience, look at new imaging, new branding, new marketing, and that led to more monetization for him as well.
Nice.
All righty, so here now we're on the home stretch, and we are at step 7 of optimizing, and optimizing for impact and leverage. So step 7, our last step, is to optimize the system. And here, let's pull up our last screen here on the 7 steps. So you can see here with self-replication, we can do this over and over again, and we're constantly optimizing. And we start from this place of, who am I really? What are my strengths? What are my gifts? And you want to be connected to your truest self. And you want to think about, how do I want my life to look? What is my vision? And turn that vision into a plan. Similarly, besides our Master Marketing Symposium that we have, we also have a group sales summit, which was perfect for another member that we had who decided to make a change, and they wanted to lead a new group around the world. And so this led to new activities that this member had to do. And she attended our group sales summit that we offer annually to gain valuable insights and techniques that are needed to successfully transform her business into focusing on group business. And so, in fact, this year we're having our group sales summit coming up in March 31st to April 3rd in Cancun, Mexico, something that you all might want to consider as well if you are looking to perhaps create a new brand and business targeted towards group travel. So our member actually she attended the group sales summit. She worked on, that was her passion, her lifestyle. She aligned the model and, did the branding, marketing, and she was able to successfully market it on her website. And she actually had to learn to live out of her comfort zone. She said it was scary trying something new, but it worked. And she did a successful group travel that she booked and arranged, and went very well for her. So it's all about thinking about these 7 steps to elevate, to empower, inspiring your clients with all of this through the gift of travel. I mean, this is huge. So going back to the formula that we shared earlier, going back to developing your mission statement, you want to think about the mission statement being, I help who? Who do you serve? What do you do for them? What is this unique way or talent that you offer so that you can offer a greater purpose to your consumers? And you don't want to get caught up in the how at first, because you want to do the who and why first. And, why are you getting into the business, and how are you going to do it? And just remember that you can't really jump into step 7 and say, I'm making money and that's it. And you constantly need to look at your business. You constantly need to change and optimize. And so going through these steps, 7 steps, and having that replication will help you to evolve your business over time and giving you that greatest impact and success in your business. And at the end of the webinar, we will be sending you copies or the job aids of this pyramid so that you'll have these steps. We'll also be sharing with you the copy of the mission statement, so that will help you to formulate your mission statement as well. And speaking about vision and mission, as we conclude, again, it's all about the continuous improvement. No matter whether you are new or you are seasoned to the business, it's important to go back and reevaluate your purpose, your mission, your model and brand to have sustainability. And so as we end our presentation, I think it's important to share our vision, mission, and core values here at Nexion Travel Group as well. And on your screen, our vision is to be the most valued, sought after, and innovative host travel agency. And our mission is empowering success for our members, industry partners, and our colleagues. On the next screen, just wanted to share a bit of our 5 core values, which are excellence, expertise, education, satisfaction, and integrity. And at this point, I'm going to open it up for Joni to open up for questions. And again, just a reminder, we will be sending you the job aids after the webinar.
Thank you. That was wonderful, ladies. That was great. Awesome. So we only have a couple questions. I've answered some that people had along the way just because they weren't like for everybody, they were just individual questions. But for right now, one of the gals has asked here, who was the kick in the butt sales program you mentioned?
Oh, okay, yes, the kick in the butt. That was Donna Smith Bellinger, Bellinger, and she's the creator of the Kick in the Butt Sales Training Program. Donna Smith Bellinger.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, and then what was the book mentioned about identifying who are using 100 questions? Does that make sense? Carlin, I
Oh,
think you
yeah,
mentioned,
so
is that the same book? No.
yes, it was the Clifton, it's the Clifton Strengths.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Those are the only two questions. I think you guys nailed this. This was wonderful. So great. I do have, would like to take this time to maybe do the prize giveaway if that's okay with you ladies.
Yes, perfect. And Wendy, if you want to just change to the last screen so that if anyone does think of questions after the fact, we have our contact information here
Perfect.
on your screen as well.
That's great. Thank you. Do you want to go ahead and ask the question? And I'll let you know who wins.
Sure. All righty. All righty. Okay. So here we go. The first step to growing my business starts with marketing. And this is a true or false question. The first step to growing my business starts with marketing.
Remember, you want to type your questions in the right-hand panel, your answers in the right panel.
We do a drum roll.
Okay, drum roll. Julianne Gorney, congratulations.
Hey.
Yay!
Congratulations on
Okay.
listening so attentively. That was great. Well, ladies, I
Yeah.
can't thank you enough. This was absolutely a wonderful presentation. I loved it. I didn't miss a thing here. I was paying close attention. I hope all of you had a great time today with the webinar. I thank everyone here for being here. Thank you to Nexion Travel Group and all that they do for us. Thank you, Carlin. Thank you, Wendy. And thank you, agents. And this webinar was recorded so that you know, and it will be on travelprofessionalnews.com later on this afternoon. And thank you again, ladies. Everybody have a great rest of your week.
Thanks,
Thank you, Joni, and thank you to everyone.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.